Let us go for the given data. As the given data is, it is a three-phase transmission line and operating for a frequency of 50 Hz. Three-phase transmission line operating for a frequency of 50 Hz, and the line is operating with a voltage on the receiving end side as VR. Since they have not given anything, it is defaultly taken as a line voltage. Line voltage on the receiving end side is 132 kV. In general is taken as reference. Okay, and this transmission line operating at a receiving end voltage of 132 kV delivers a power on the receiving end side with a value of PR for a three phase, which is equal to 50 megawatts, 50 megawatts. And the nature of the load is a lagging power factor load, so that they given in the case that the power factor on the receiving end side is equal to cos phi r, which is equal to 0.85 lagging. Okay, so and this entire power voltage is transmitted in the transmission line for a length of 80 kilometers. For a length of 80 kilometers. For this entire length of this 80 kilometers, the constants are given called as transmission line constants, resistance, reactance, and shunt admittance. So the magnitudes of the impedance is given as series element capital Z, which is equal to 96 at an angle. So 96 ohms at an angle 78 degrees. This is ohmic value. Whereas coming to the shunt branch called admittance, Y is given as 0.001 at an angle 90 degrees more. These two values Z and Y are given directly for 80 kilometers. Okay, and next they have given that the power factor, anyhow I discussed, it is 0.85 lagging. With this entire data, using nominal T method, we have to solve the problem for calculating the values of Vs, Is, cos phi s, power on the receiving end side Ps. After getting all these four quantities, we need to find out efficiency and regulation, percentage regulation. These are required to find, and these are the data. If you check in clearly the nominal T method, let us go for the circuit diagram. The circuit diagram for a nominal T method is the series impedance is divided into two halves and is shown like this. Okay, with entire capacitance located at midpoint of the transmission line at middle point here, with an admittance Y given in the problem very clearly as 0.001 at an angle 90 degrees. And this half of the impedance was given, entire impedance was given, actually its value is 96 at an angle 78. We have to make it into two equal parts so that its value will be 48 ohms. So Z by 2, where Z by 2 value is 48 ohms, which makes an angle of 78 degrees. Here also on the other side, this is the impedance again. This was the impedance again. Z by 2 with a value of 48 ohms at an angle 78 degrees. These are constants given, and parameters, all of us know that it is receiving end current IR with a voltage of VR, per phase values these are, and the current in this is called as IC, and the current in this is called as IS, with the voltage given at the input side or sending end side as Vs. This is the nominal T representation. Okay. So first we will start the calculations on receiving end side as per our known values. Before that, we have to convert all these line values to phase values. So let me first calculate the phase value on the receiving end side. So the receiving end voltage VR per phase. VR per phase is equal to the receiving end voltage VR line to line value divided by root 3. As formula is V phase is equal to VL by root 3. Then what is VL? The VL on the receiving end side is 132 kV, 132 into 10 power 3 divided by root 3. Gives me the receiving end voltage per phase value as 76.21 kV, which was taken as reference. Therefore, its value is at an angle 0 degrees. Since it was taken as reference, the magnitude is 76.21 kV. With this known value of VR per phase, we can calculate IR. Then what is IR? IR is equal to power PR, which is a 3-phase value, divided by formula for a 3-phase. What is 3-phase formula? Root 3 VR L cos phi. VRL cos phi. Then what is its value? Current IR is equal to current IR, which is equal to PR divided by root 3 VRL cos phi. Substituting the values, we get this IR as the current IR, which is equal to power on the 3-phase side. As it is given as 50 megawatts, 50 into 10 power 6 divided by root 3. Line voltage 132 kV, 132 into 10 power 3, cos phi 0.85, because they have given in the problem it is 0.85 lagging. Substituting all this, we get the current magnitude as IR, which is a phasor, will have magnitude as well as angle. The magnitude of the current is 257 amperes, 0.28, which makes an angle of 31.78. Since it is a lagging load, the angle will be minus angle. Therefore, the current is a phasor, having a magnitude per phase value and also line value. Because it is a star connection, in star connection, I phase is equal to IL. So, 257.28 amperes will flow in the receiving end side, which makes an angle of 31.78, lagging nature. So once getting this IR, we can apply KVL. On applying KVL, we will get a voltage across this capacitor, which is in general represented with V1. Then let me write that V1. So V1 is equal to the VR, which is a phasor. All these are phasors, plus the calculated current IR multiplied by Z by 2. Since it is a nominal T, half of the impedance only available on the receiving end side. So substituting the values, I will get this as V1, which is equal to VR. Remember that this VR, IR are the phasors, no doubt, and they should be in per phase values. Why they should be in per phase? Because whenever we are doing the mathematical simplifications, all the quantities should lie on same flat form. I mean to say that the impedance Z value, whose value is given as 96 at an angle 78 degrees. This is given for one phase concept called as a single phase. For that single phase, since that impedance is in per phase, the remaining quantity should also be in per phase. Okay. So V1, which is equal to VR. In our calculation, we know that it is VR, whose value is equal to 76.21 into 10 power 3. Since I take it as reference, its value will be plus J0. This is VR phasor. Plus the current IR, lagging nature. The current I is 257.28, making an angle of minus 31.78, is to be multiplied with half of the impedance. What is half of the impedance? Yes, in the problem we know that its value is 48 ohms at an angle 78 degrees. Same thing I am writing here. 48 ohms at an angle 78 degrees. It is to be multiplied like this. A simple KVL. In the KVL process also we know that V1 is equal to VR plus IR into Z by 2. So simplifying in the calculator, you will get this voltage across the capacitor as V1 value, which is equal to 85,222.54 volts, which is a leading phasor by an angle of 6 degrees. This is voltage across the capacitor with a voltage of 85,222.54 volts, which makes an angle of 6 degrees. Okay. Once knowing this voltage V1 at this stage, means this voltage now we got it. And the admittance of that branch is also a known quantity. Then I will use the Ohm's law to get the current in that capacitor. What is Ohm's law as per the current value now? The current value IC is equal to voltage across that capacitor V1, which is a phasor, is to be multiplied with the entire admittance called as Y. Then I will get the current in the capacitor. So current in the capacitor IC is equal to the voltage so far what we got is voltage across the capacitor 85,222.54 volts. This much voltage is available across the capacitor, making an angle of 6 degrees, is to be multiplied with Y value. What is Y value? Admittance given in the problem as 0.001 at an angle 90 degrees. The same thing I am writing here in the multiplication. That is 0.001 at an angle 90 degrees. We know the product rules. As per the product rules, magnitude should be multiplied and angles should be added. So the capacitor current IC will now be equal to, which is equal to, the capacitor current IC will be equal to 85.22 amperes. This much amount of leading current will pass through the capacitor against a voltage of V1. Okay. So 85.22 amperes makes an angle of 90 plus 6, 96 degrees. Okay. At this stage we got the magnitude of capacitor current called IC. So far what we have done, we converted the given line value of the VR to phase value, calculated IR. The next step we applied the KVL to get the value of V1. After getting this V1, as per Ohm's law, I calculated IC. Now, after finding out IC, at this point, midpoint, I will apply KCL. Purpose of applying KCL is to get the current of IS. To get the current of IS, if you recall the theory part. Then let me do the same thing to calculate the current IS. So on applying KCL, the magnitude of the current IS is equal to phasor sum of IR and capacitor current IC. Substitute the values and get IS. What is IS then? IS is equal to the IR current, which is equal to lagging nature. How much value it is? Yes, in the previous we got that its value is 257.28 current, makes an angle of minus 31.78 degrees. This current is to be added with IC current. What is IC current? It is a leading current. Just now we calculated 85.22 amperes at an angle 96 degrees. That is to be added here. 85.22 amperes, which is leading by 96 degrees. I have to do the phasor sum. And adding these two currents, I will get the magnitude of IS. Simplify in the calculator, you can get the value of IS as 215 amperes, 0.85. 215.85 amperes. This much amount of current you can observe on the sending end side, which makes an angle of 13.59 with lagging. That is why I have to put here minus sign. So minus 13.59 degrees. So I got IS here as a fourth step. First step, conversion of line value to phase. Second step, IR. Third step, V1 calculation. Fourth step, IC calculation. Fifth step, IS calculation. Finally, I have to apply KVL on the sending end loop to get the voltage Vs. Let me go for Vs calculation. So what is Vs? It is also a phasor, which is equal to, as per KVL, you can write that as voltage across the capacitor V1, which is a phasor. Yes, this is V1, should be added to the drop in the existing on the sending end side. What is the drop? It carries a current of Is against an impedance of Z by 2. Yes, the current is a phasor anyhow. Okay, so substituting the values, we will get this as Vs is equal to the voltage V1 85,222.54 volts, making an angle of 6 degrees, is to be added with the impedance drop. Previous also we calculated the impedance drop, that is with the current of IR, but now we have to calculate the impedance drop, that is for the current of IS. Then I will get this value as IS value, just now we calculated, its value is 215.85, making an angle of minus 13.59. Okay, so that much amount of current Is is passing in Z by 2. What is Z by 2? 48 ohms, making an angle of 78 degrees. So the same thing I am writing here, which is to be protected with 48 ohms, which makes an angle of 78. Simplify in the calculator, then you will get the magnitude of the sending end voltage. All these are per phase values, I recall it. Okay, simplify, then you will get the Vs as 91,078 volts, and decimals are there anyhow, its value is 0.51, makes an angle of 11 degrees, 11.56 degrees. This much amount of per phase voltage you can observe on the transmission line at sending end side, and this analysis is done based upon nominal T method. Okay, so 91.07 kV at an angle of 11.56. So we got the value of this Vs. Okay, and also we got the value of Is. The next immediate step is to find out the power factor cos phi s. To find out the power factor, one should know the value of the phase angle. How to get the phase angle? As the phase angle phi s is angle difference of the voltage and current on the sending end side. Observe the angles of this Vs, it is 11.56, and observe the angle of the current Is, it is 13.59 with negative sign. So difference of these two gives us phase angle. Let me write out that. Its value is phase angle of the voltage on sending end side minus phase angle of the current on the sending end side, which can be simplified as 11.56 minus of minus 13.59. If you do it, then you will get the phase angle on the sending end side phi s as 25.15 degrees. Apply cos to this, then you will get the power factor called as cos phi s is equal to cos 25.15, its value is 0.9051. Still the current is a lagging current. You have to remember that the current is a lagging current with a power factor of 0.9051. So that we got our next step called as cos phi s also. Out of calculating steps, Vs, Is, cos phi s are completed, and we have to still calculate the power on the sending end side called PS, efficiency and regulation. 3 more terms are there left over to calculate them. Once if the quantities on receiving end side and sending end side are obtained, then it is very easy to find out performance parameters called efficiency and regulation. So let us find out that power on the sending end side directly. So that the first parameter I am going to calculate, it is efficiency. efficiency is equal to output side power called as receiving end power PR by PS. What is PS? PS is equal to sending end power PS multiplied with 100. Let me substitute that values directly, so that here I am writing efficiency value. So efficiency is equal to PR power for a 3-phase, it is equal to 50 megawatts. Yes, this is 50 megawatts. 50 into 10 power 6 divided by power on the sending end side. Since the numerator is defined in per phase, 3-phase power, denominator should also be defined for 3-phase value. The 3-phase power, we know that there are two formulas, either in line values or in phase values. Right now with me I am having phase values. That is why I am writing that 3-phase power in phases as 3 V phase on the sending end side 91,778.51 volts. 3 V phase, I phase current is 215.85 is to be multiplied with sending end power factor. The sending end power factor is 0.9051. As it is percentage value, I will multiply it with 100 on the numerator. So that percentage efficiency was calculated now as, simplify in the calculator, you will get the percentage as 93.65%. Okay. So they are asking us to find out efficiency alone. I took the regulation part also. If you are interested, you can calculate the regulation. Anyhow, I will discuss the regulation part also. So coming to the regulation, percentage regulation, which is equal to VR naught minus VR by VR into 100. The receiving end voltage per phase value, you know that it is 76.21 kV. Don't bother about that. And next the VR naught. VR naught is to be calculated. Okay. So the procedure I am telling here, you can simplify it and get the value of regulation. So the circuit will be resemble like this at no load operation. Let me draw the circuit diagram for no load. It consists of a resistor and inductor with half of its impedance called as Z by 2. And next the capacitor is present at the midpoint. Because of operating at no load, the another impedance is neglected. And the voltage across this is called VR naught, with a value of Y given in the problem. Convert it into ohms. Then the voltage injected here, it is Vs. Simplify this and you will get the VR naught. What is VR naught? VR naught is equal to total voltage Vs into minus j XC, where XC is equal to 1 by omega C. So I will get that as minus j XC. XC is 1 by omega C divided by its entire value of the impedance called as R by 2 plus j XL by 2 minus j XC. For further simplification, you can write this VR naught as Vs per phase value should be multiplied with minus j 1 by omega C is nothing but Y. So Y value divided by R by 2 plus j XL by 2 minus j XC. What is XC? 1 by omega C can be written as 1 by Y. Right. So with this we completed the mathematical expressions and mathematical formula for nominal T method, both for single phase and 3 phase. Okay.